Well, welcome back to another edition of CodesEmpire Unleashed, huh?
Yep.
So, today we're doing kind of a little bit of science experiment. You can see you've got some rubber gloves, because I'm going to be handling some special chemicals, especially with this cool crystal growing kit. Okay, you can see I've got it opened up and got things set up already. Of course, safety glasses, so we'll make sure we've got our eyes protected. And in the process of this, we're going to make some crystals, or we're going to grow some crystals. Okay, you guys excited?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I remember growing one of these when I was a kid, or getting a kit like this when I was a kid and growing some of these. And this was really neat. I had a lot of fun doing it. I can't even remember, I might have been, I don't know, 13, 14 years old maybe when I got one of these. So I got it for Christmas one year and it was loads of fun. And I grew every crystal in it. Okay? So now this was given to us from a family member, and we're going to grow some ourselves. I'm not sure, there might be one or two missing things out of it, but overall it looks like pretty much everything was still intact. You've got your cool little display stand that you can display the crystals on afterwards, and cool instruction book. Shows you how to grow all the different various crystals. And then of course, we cut all these, but your little geode making mold, different size growing chambers. That's what all these are for growing all your different size crystals. Of course, some rocks to grow with. There's plenty more in the kit. Some popsicle sticks, some fishing line, basically is what that is. Monofilament line is probably what they have it labeled as, but it's for suspending that, and this is probably to loop on and then drape it down into the solution to grow single crystals. Magnifying glass, looks a little scratched up over the years. This was some glow-in-the-dark paint to paint on a rock for one of the specific crystals, but unfortunately this is dried up over the years, and of course it had a paintbrush with it. So that probably won't work with that. And of course your covers to cover up some of the different containers, depending on what the instructions say, and various different crystals. You've got your geode shell material. It's a plaster of Paris. You can buy this stuff too and make some more if you want. And then of course you've got your purple amethyst geode, your ruby or your red ruby geode, and of course a variety of different crystal growing material, and a couple more right here, Frosty Diamond and Emerald Green. And these are going to be the two that we're going to give a whirl today. Yeah, it's actually going to be the green one, and being the Frosty Diamond, that's probably, yeah, it's probably this one right here. That one, and then these are the single ones potentially, maybe this. So, it's got a cool little display book. Shows you the different styles of crystals and how they grow, what their types are, and what they would look like after you grow them, and some of them in actual nature, which is kind of cool. So of course, oh yeah, so we're going to do the emerald green today and the Frosty Diamond. So that's what the two will look like. So the Frosty Diamond, there you go, and the emerald green. So it should be pretty neat. You guys want to look at that?
Yes.
So right now we're in the process of heating up some water. We've pre-cleaned some of our stones because that's what you're supposed to do. We've got some mixing containers to mix some of the solution up into, and we got our growing containers over there, and we'll get things set up and get going here in just a minute. So, and then as far as instructions, with our Frosty Diamond one, that will be the first one we'll start. This is kind of what you're looking at as far as what's going to happen and what's going to take place and what you need. And of course, you know, make sure safety protection, you know, that's why I'm wearing gloves too, because the chemicals, once you get them dissolved, they can be irritating to your skin and stuff. So, and it just depends, not everything. And you definitely want to make sure you don't use an aluminum saucepan of any kind. Teflon coated or stainless steel saucepans only. I know I'll be curious to know what happens when you do use aluminum. So we might have to make that another science experiment later on. Trying out aluminum in one of these, which will be pretty fascinating. So we might have to do that outside because I don't know what will happen. But it'll be a neat experiment. And then of course it comes with, the kit also comes with a measuring cup too. So, forgot to mention that. Anyways, we're gonna get this water going here. It's pretty close to boiling, and we'll go from there. 1 minute. Okay guys, so we have already got some of our Frosty Diamond out of the bag. We cut it open, poured some into our little measuring beaker. Some Ziploc bags are a good way to store this after you're done mixing it up, okay? So we got an extra one for our emerald green diamond. Here's our cool little beaker. So it's basically 1 3/4 ounces or 50 milliliters, okay? Of basically, you can see this cool crystalline material. So, and then as this stuff cools after we're done mixing it and stuff, we'll definitely get in the bag and we'll seed a few into the actual mixture when we're ready to, so that way we can help kickstart the growing process on this. And then we'll have to get 680 milliliters of water. So, and we'll mix them in this. How about that, guys?
Yeah.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Okay. So, we've got our boiling, raging water over here on the stove. Looks like it's boiling pretty good. See, guys? It's pretty nice and hot, and see all the bubbles on the bottom? Okay. So we're good there.
Yeah.
So here's our crystal stuff. It's poured in. Yeah, that is hot.
Oh wow.
1. Okay. Maybe we'll throw a little towel down here.
If you guys do this, make sure you have safety protection, and make sure you have parents supervision.
Yeah. You totally
Oh,
have
yeah.
to have pounds.
Definitely.
So, 2.
And then repeat 2.
3. Oops. Owie.
You totally have to have pounds.
Yes, huh? Because that's super hot. Okay, here's number 4. And it's pretty much almost all dissolved up. We need, what was it, 120 milliliters more, so not quite to the top.
That'll work the best.
Okay, guys, and our 120 milliliters right there.
Yep.
So that's our last one. So there's quite a bit of solution in this one.
Yeah.
But we are using the larger of the trays. So I know the emerald one, when we go to that, we're using several smaller ones, so. Okay. So according to what I read on this, we're looking at about 3 days time, and we'll be able to start to see crystals growing and stuff. Well, we'll see them by then. So what we'll do is we'll kind of do some time lapse, and we'll put that in on this, and then that way everybody can kind of watch the crystals and grow up. That'll be kind of cool, huh? So once we start growing these, we want to place them in a spot that they're not going to be disturbed, basically. So we don't want them to be moved around in any way. So we'll find a neat little spot to put these, and that's what we'll do after. So we'll place 3 cool rocks in here so we can grow some.
Yeah,
We'll transfer our solution into here and
that's in white.
place them in a spot that will not be moved.
And use what's a bats and whites too. But don't beat that and up to the top. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. That's pretty much all of it. Cool. So these other smaller ones are for if we wanted to do some small individuals or whatnot, from what I was reading, which I didn't catch that at first. So basically we've got our first deal here. Pretty hot. So we'll just sit it right on over here by bugs.
And then you that too.
And we'll just leave it sit here for a bit. But we don't want to disturb it. We'll get it into place, let it continue cooling, and then we'll shoot some time-lapse photos of it over time, over the next course of 3 days or whatnot, and watch our crystals grow, basically. So it should be pretty interesting. So we'll get ready and we'll prep up our next batch. Let's take and we'll put these. Okay.
Green and white.
Yeah.
It's the green one.
Yeah, so we'll take and
Emerald green.
well, let's place some of these rocks down inside these for our emerald green. And we'll grow some emerald green. Okay?
Emerald green.
We'll rinse this out so we don't have any contaminated solution. You can kind of see the way the crystals look, and they're elongated, and you can kind of see their shapes a bit. I'm gonna let the kids enjoy looking at these. These will be our seed crystals. Okay, so after you're done, go ahead and pass it around. I don't know how much of that we'll end up using on all these different ones.
They're gonna be big ones. This is gonna be a pretty big one. So hold down here.
Well, there are going to be many different separate ones. This is going to be the big one. These are going to be many different small ones. This is
Money.
going to be the sea crystals.
Money.
Wow, very interesting. So you can see the difference in the two solutions. We'll of course seed these a little bit later when the solution's cool, but there you have it. And you'll get to watch the time-lapse video here in a little bit, and you'll see that breeze on by as some of these crystals start to grow and develop. And then we'll come back and we'll wrap this up, huh guys?
Yeah.
Be pretty cool. Okay, so anyways, we'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, it's been a little bit. Our solutions have cooled down enough, and we're going to work on seeding these right now. Okay, so as far as our emerald, we're just gonna put some actual crystals right on, straight on in. And we're gonna seed, see, as you see, we're gonna pour some in on here, and we're gonna get these to seed on the actual granite rocks. And these should just take off and help spark the growth really quick. Okay, well guys, it has been, what now, 6 days roughly? You can see we have a few crystals out already. Let me show you. These ones, this one only's been out for about, what, a day or so? Yeah. Because it was still submerged in the liquid.
Then it just barely popped.
And it barely popped out, but this one's been out for a couple days now. Let me see here, I'll put a little extra light on it for you guys so you can kind of have a better idea. So you can see it sparkles. But these are the frosty diamonds that we grew. And the kids were using the magnifying glass looking at them. You can go ahead, guys. Let's see. You guys can kind of see the shine and the beauty. Okay, and we're about to reveal some of the others. Now, to give you guys some ideas here, let me, I'm gonna bring you in on this just real quick and show you. So, you can see the frosty diamond, and you can see where the other two rocks were and where they were placed and as they were growing. And then you can kind of see our emeralds. Let me put a little light on here for you. You kind of see they've since been exposed for a little bit, at least the emerald. And the one is just barely started to come out. So there's some good growth in there, but this one didn't quite develop like we had hoped. And it was very hard to see what was going on, but the frosty diamonds did really decent. So, let me explain a little bit of what we encountered in the process of this. What we saw, and this was interesting, you really have to, the directions don't give you a lot of insight as far as, oh, you know, wait this long before you try to seed plant it. Okay, when I mean seed plant it, okay, so you got extra stuff. This one, of course, will make, this is a frosty diamond. We'll be able to grow some more of these, which will be cool. We'll definitely do that, okay? So we'll grow some more of these on some other, maybe different rocks and things like that. Have some fun with them. The emeralds, unfortunately, the green emerald, we don't have, there's no more of this. There's a few little seed pieces, but that's about it. So basically, the crystals that you dissolve are considered the seeds, okay? The problem is the temperature when we first initially tried to seed them was still probably a little too warm, because when we first did it after about, what, maybe, it wasn't even maybe 12 hours, it felt cool to the touch. I should have hit it with my little laser gun to see what the actual temperature was, but I didn't. And yeah, laser gun, huh? And that would have given us a lot more accurate reading of it if it was at room temperature. And then we'd have probably had a better success at seeding them and to get them to take off and grow and potentially get larger diamonds and or emeralds growing. We have a better idea now. We'll be able to do that in the future. It gives us an idea how to do this, and that's the thing you'll see in the time lapse that you just watched. You know, it's not the most impressive. We also learned, you know, a better way of time-lapsing it. We kind of missed out. So first it didn't work out so good, and then we seeded it and missed the day, and then filmed some more, well, time-lapse some more, and all of a sudden it started taking off. The Frosty Diamonds, we seeded it and it went bonkers after we seeded it, but it was several days after the fact. So you definitely, in my opinion, I would say at least 24 hours after the fact, it would be a good time to seed it, because it allows for some evaporation, which kind of concentrates the liquid a little more and seems to kickstart that growth process, I guess is a good word for it. And bam, you can get this going. So let's get in on this a little bit. I'll bring you in so you can kind of see. So here's the Frosty Diamonds, and you can see the just amount littered in the bottom, and it evaporated quite a bit. I mean, that's close to 3/4 of an inch evaporated out of this container. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove this big chunk. See, you can see all this, a lot of it's breaking off in the process. Oop, yep. There went all that off of there, which is okay, because we mostly wanted what was going to stick to the rock. Yep. So there it is. Okay. So these, like I said, these are brittle crystals. They're not like something, you know, they're just going to be amazing and nice and hard and...
Well, that's true.
Okay. There were a few suspended on the surface. They were more or less suspended, growing off of some dust particles. But you know, we could save a few of these. I think it would be cool. Some of these I think will be really neat to use as seed ones next time.
Oh yeah.
So. See, there's a nice one. This one could actually make a nice individual one for a seed next time. So, anyways. Oh, there is. This is cool. This is very cool. Okay, I don't know. This is definitely going to be tricky because the one I could see there's a nice chunk growing on the bottom, which I want to keep intact. Let me dump out some of this so we can see what's going on. Oh, beautiful. That is so cool. Look at that one.
Oh, wow.
Do you see that?
I can't.
Okay, let me see if I can remove the actual rock. Okay.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Okay.
That looks cool. Yeah.
Okay, hang tight, guys. This one, and I know you guys on camera want to see this, but the kids will probably get to see it first. I'm gonna try to gently remove this.
Yeah.
So hard.
And that's such a thin hole.
You need something.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's like I wish it would be more on the rock though. Yeah. But it's so cool.
Okay. Look at that one.
That's like a crystal.
Oh, this is awesome. I love this.
That's like a crystal.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, there's a few good ones in there still. Those ones will be great for seed crystals next time.
Yeah.
So we will definitely hold on to those. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is so
Yes, yes, okay.
Okay, just be careful.
Okay, hang tight. Okay, guys. I know you want to see this. But just the kids' reaction. Check this out. That one right there. That's the emerald one. That one turned out really neat. This rock, with the few that grew on it, I mean, it's neat. you could see the ones that grew on the side, and a few here. See, this one was starting to develop, and that one would have definitely been a real neat one. But this little chunk right here, this is what the kids were so just astounded by. Right there, that little piece.
That's where that is like this kind of.
Yeah.
Like maybe they took a picture of that instead of the rock.
Okay. Let's get in on. Let's see what comes out of this one.
I'm really interested.
Me too.
Okay.
That one.
So I'm gonna try to hold this rock steady.
I won't see it. You'll be upset them.
It does have some.
On the bottom.
Oh yeah, there's actually
Some on it.
there's some on it,
And there's some on the bottom.
and wow, this one's actually really neat too.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see if I can.
That, but you want to see in low height, then do it.
Looks like if you want to see that in real life, then do it.
Okay, kind of caught my finger on a few.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
That's cool.
Look at that one. That's really neat.
It looks like a bottom, and then it looks like.
So there's a few in there that we can use for seed crystals next time. Okay, guys. Okay.
That one's actually starting to grow on the bottom.
Look at that one, and look at this one. Actually had some really neat ones starting to grow on the rocks here, which is really cool.
What's that on one side?
That is really neat. So as these start to dry out and stuff, they'll get harder. So this will be really neat. But these crystals, these aren't like the real crystals that you would go get, like the emerald crystals and things like that. So these are brittle. You got to treat them as so. You can't be handling them and fondling them and touching them, everything, because they will break and snap off. So it's a fun science experiment to play around with and see. But you can definitely look at the crystal structures and see the differences from these just to even to the frosty diamonds and the differences. So pretty neat. It is definitely a fun experiment. We did learn a lot from this experiment and how to get some good seed or how to seed these properly so we can get some better growth next time. So we'll definitely do some other videos with these. Might even do a complete time-lapse only of one down the road, something that we can see through pretty decent. Yeah. That would be neat, huh, guys? Yeah. So anyways, I guess that's a wrap-up of this video. So I guess until our next adventure on CodesEmpire Unleashed, we will catch you guys later.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and make sure you hit the bell to get notifications every time we make a new video. Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
See you guys.
Oh, that's a diamond hole. That's a whole bone.
That's cool.
It eat hole. I can't see it one eat hole.
So pretty.
Look, see that one. Oh. I want the old one. So I think these little tiny ones would probably be like that, maybe.
I feel like they took a picture of that.
I know, and made it bigger. And they got really good Photoshop. I think what's how much on 10 on mode on 10. Yeah, Sam, I think it was small, and then they photoed it big. Yeah. Just so it would look really interesting.
Yeah. I want to touch them, but I